Now, the longest time, everybody thought Mawrasite was sort of a tragic villain because the reason why she joined, at least in the commercial that she was promoting Black Hat organization, says a few words that she's the reason why she joined is to help her parasite be in control. And this is why she's sort of happy with the organization because they give her sort of help, but never really give very strong explanation why or what type of medication. We all sort of reinterpret that however we could to fully grasp what she actually said, and it's sort of her traction reason to actually join. Believe it or not, the How to Be Evil by Black Hat book or the manual of Black Hat actually give her a little bit more spotlight and more understanding how she got her parasite. And believe it or not, it wasn't traction, it was on purpose by the organization, but not by Black Hat. A fact is from the original crew of Black Hat, a fact specifically Mr. Crow, that this book kind of named one of the original crew members of Black Hat. And of course, before I continue breaking down how Mawrasite get her parasite and the reason why she had this, and also why the crew members and the theory explains almost everything. It makes it more clear than ever before. But before that, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine too. If you do, thank you, because of you, I gain to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. If I getting close because of you who put like, comment, and share. Now let's start with the video of Mawrasite, how she got her parasite, and sort of kind of broke the illusion how she got the parasite and the reason why she became a villain. Now let's get started with the video. Now, I find fascinating of the manual of Black Cat or How to Be Evil actually spotlights every single side character in the video universe, and one of them is actually Mawrasite. And it's sort of interesting because she sort of described, or I'm going to show her sort of kind of an interview next to me or in front of me, and also translate to English, but a few words to make it sense. Basically, what she states is the fact is a little girl, she was always sick. She never really got better till her father kind of moved her to sort of very specific camp for little kids. But one day decided to sort of play the game. It sort of won a prize, at least maybe because she didn't remember how she played or the reason why she won it, but just one of the camp counselors, how she called it, Mr. Crow, one of the original members of Black Cat, and got close to her, saying, "Congratulations, little girl, you won a prize." And she was sort of confused. What do you mean? What prize did I won? Before she knows it, she blanked out and woke up drowsy, seeing she has a parasite in her stomach. After that, she feels great because that sort of kind of cure her sort of illness or she recently being sick. In the sort of interview, she never really describes why was always sick, but she always was, but she never understood why she's sick. And this parasite supposedly helping her, but she never really noticed how to actually affect her with this parasite. But she only thinks she knows this parasite is helping her, or at least that's what she thinks, because now she's feeling less sick, but more drowsy and sleepy. And that's the only side effect with this sort of parasite, besides not having full control most of the time, but yet she's feeling fine. Of course, how she ends the whole sentence at the very end is sort of interesting because the first person she sort of called is Mr. Crow because that's how she interpreted, because she never said Mr. Crow, that's what his real name, one of the original crew members. She sort of coined it. At least that's how I choose to interpret the interview. And the second one is very fascinating. The second crew member she coined is the man who smiles a lot. And that's all she actually remembers. After that, the whole basically interview ends. But I feel sort of fascinating how she was sort of chosen to become basically a guinea pig, but you don't know this was a purpose, why she chose her specifically, or her father, how this she's her father is how evolved with this sort of experiment. Even that we don't know who is basically Mernando's father, you could say she could be a very high ranking member because how she got a chance to actually cure her daughter. If you don't know, the higher ranking, the more perks you have, depends what type of hat ranking you really have. That she father, Mernando's father, can actually give power or maybe asked for favors to cure her daughter, and we just don't know. But we do know the only way she actually got this virus is because the higher rankings, or specifically the crew of Black Cat, allowed it. That means her father should be a very high ranking member. But for right now, we don't know why. But we kind of more understand how Mernado get her parasite, because it's sort of interesting because we don't know what was the cause and reason or the experiment is successful or even fully completed. But I do find it interesting is why Mr. Crow chose her exactly. People sort of kind of predicted or sort of theorizing Mr. Crow could be maybe a magic user or a scientist, but people rely on more in magic because he has the crow face. Well, specifically, that sort of kind of mask back in the old days they used to not be affected. Only people who use that specific mask are doctors. So it makes sense probably he is a doctor or slash magic user because usually magic users wear this sort of type of mask for at least fantasy sort of stories. So he between a scientist or a magic or one or the other or both. We just honestly don't know what Mr. Crow really is, but you have at least a more better understanding. He is sort of maybe a doctor, maybe at least that's what you chose to interpret, and the people sort of kind of theorized. Now, the reason why Mr. Smile, or the how some people coined him Mr. Boo, is there too. What was the reason he's there? Maybe for protection from Mr. Crow, or even better yet, to see what is the effects of this sort of experiment, or maybe destroy the girl who the experiment it fails. We don't know is for protection or taking down Mawrasite, or maybe he is part of the experiment. Maybe he created the parasite for Mirinadro, and Mr. Crow is there to basically sew it to Mirinadro. That could be a very interesting sort of take. It could be possible. It make more sense because Mr. Boo usually here appears to finish a job. So yeah, maybe it's to finish her, to protect the doctor, or to see what happens of this experiment. It's just sort of kind of fascinating. Of course, be known, Mawrasite Parasite actually has a personally a personality, or at least two instinctive things to protect her and eat and recharge and sleep. And sort of that's all he really does. He does transform Mawrasite to maybe a half something, but this is the reason why I say maybe she's not yet fully transformed because in the comic High Risk, she did transform for a little while, but that's because she lost control. But even that sort of incident happened, give her more control the parasite, or at least have the same wavelength with the parasite, understanding what she wants and the parasite wants. So they have a clear understanding what to do when things get rough and questionable. But what's more, we don't know she's fully transformed, this is a side effect, or something that no one really expected to actually happen. Now, the most interesting thing about Mary is the fact she's just chill with it because it's Mary. That she's doesn't really panic. I mean, panic when her friends or family or someone close to her gets endangered, yes. But other thing besides that, she's usually a very chill person. In fact, some fans sort of believe she was sort of okay to be experimented because how she talked about she was sort of nervous in the interview, but how she approached it and conversate that she just fully accepted. Like, yeah, that happened. I accepted to sort of understand her sort of situation. But yet, that makes so much sense of that character if you read High Risk because that's how she is most of the time. She almost feels she's very chill or high most of the time, but yet she does explain she just feels sleepy or tired because the parasite drained all her energy and she needs constantly eat something to balance that out. But I feel sort of fascinating. Of course, we don't know what happens that she sleeps, that the parasite fully takes charge till she fall asleep, or is it sort of 50-50 kind of thing? Because in High Risk, with things got real, she was aware what's actually going on, and the parasite took over to finish the job. But when she saw someone's in danger, or specifically her best friend, she's the one who started pointing it out, and the parasite understood that and let go whatever the parasite trying to do to focus to help Mirando's best friend. Once again, that's what I chose to interpret in that comic. But what's more, what is your interpretation of the scenario of Miranado? What do you think? Was she is okay with it, or she just fully just accepted this, or what do you think this experiment is actually complete, done, or wait for the second part till they feels is the right moment? Honestly, I don't know. What do you think? Now, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.